Okay, y'all, it's time to do an update on this guy. I really thought I'd figured him out, but to be honest with you, this guy is much sicker than I was aware of. First of all, I want to say, any women out there, watch yourself. If you have daughters, watch your daughters. If there's any females in your family, watch any females in your family. Now, he can get on his videos and call me a punk or whatever. It doesn't change the fact that this guy has a reputation that precedes him. He gets on here and he pretends he's some kind of big Hollywood star, but yet, you know, you got all these allegations surrounding you. You know, I could investigate it, but I'm not interested. You know, I've seen enough comments on my videos to justify that there is some truth to all the speculations and allegations about this guy. But even outside of that, just looking at his channel tells me a whole lot about what this guy does. You have people that I guess they feel like the world owes them something. You know, and the really sad part is you have these really unsuspecting youth from these poor urban cities that are dealing with thoughts and hood women and all this stuff. So they gravitate to guys like this. And it gives them the big head. But what they don't realize is this guy will make up any lie on anybody for a Google AdSense check. Now you got to ask yourself, why would he be off of YouTube for about 5 days? That's unheard of. It's unheard of for him to be off of here for 5 days. A week ago was the last time he posted something. Then 20 hours ago, he started back posting. So we're talking a week. What was he doing in that week? Was he answering some charges? You know, was he handling some legal issues? You have to ask yourself this stuff. And the minute he's back, within 20 hours, he's posted. The first thing he posted was some lie about Kobe Bryant. So now he's moved on to Kobe Bryant now. Now you have to look at the number of views he has. He has 54,000 views on this. So within 4 hours later, he said, okay, well, let me keep riding this. So now he's riding. He's predicting. He's making up all these different lies about Kobe Bryant. And then more lies. So you have to ask yourself, if someone would sit around making up lies about a dead black athlete, what in the world would make you think he would not lie about all these allegations? You have to ask yourself these things. This guy is behind all the stalking that's been going on with me. And that's fine. I mean, I will let him stalk because he's been reduced to that. This big Hollywood actor, big Hollywood performer that can't even spell bodyguard, and the only roles I've ever seen him in, which I've never seen him on anything, but supposedly the only roles he's ever had is a bodyguard or something like that, you know. But it's just sickening. It's sickening. Do not be disguised by the gold chain. Do not be disguised by the bald head. Do not be disguised by the lips. This guy is as grungy as they come. You can expect to see more and more and more lies about Kobe Bryant because he wants to repeat this. This is what he wants to repeat right here. This 54,000 views. He wants to repeat this. So you can expect, before the month is over, you can probably expect 20 more Kobe Bryant videos. with all different. It's going to be the same formula he used for Kanika Jenkins. What, how, when, where, why. You know, what this, what that, what, whenever, whatever, however. Same thing with why. Why this, why that, why whatever, why however, why whenever. It'll be a million questions, all designed to make coins off of Kobe Bryant's death. See, you have to ask yourself, if he's got it going on like this, you know, because according to him, he's some big superstar, Hollywood superstar. If he's got it going on like that, why are you dragging Kobe Bryant through the mud for coins? You know? Eventually, y'all, karma is going to come back and get this guy as well. It's going to get his ass. Karma going to get him. You mark my words. It's going to get him. I mean, you have to look at his size. I mean, his heart has to be, you know, running on a deficit. Because your heart can't take but so much. Your heart can't take but so much. And, you know, like I said, when he lost his channel and stuff, I thought he was going to have a heart attack on here. And, you know, he can get on here and say some punk. Well, you know what? Look at what all you got surrounding your ass. Look at all these women that's coming out the woodwork, talking about what you've done to them. And there's proof of all this different stuff you've done to these girls. You know, I have to ask myself, is there some truth in it? You know, for the longest time, I was on the fence about it. But the more that I see what you're capable of doing, I can't rule none of that out. I cannot rule out these allegations on you. I cannot rule out these accusations about you. I can't rule out all these question marks about you. There's no way to rule them out, because I see what you're capable of. And it makes me wonder, if you're capable of these things, what all have you not done and gotten away with? What other lies will you not tell to get out of something? You know. But see, just like karma got Trey King ass, karma gonna get his ass. You watch. You mark my words, y'all. You mark my words. Karma gonna get his ass. Just as sure as I'm sitting here recording this video, karma is gonna get his ass. See, evil never wins over good. It never does. Because he went somewhere and did something for 5 days, for a week. He was off the radar for a whole week. That's unheard of. There's something to that. I believe he had to answer some charges. That's what I believe. I believe he had to. There was some unfinished business back in Philly, or wherever these accusations originated from. That's what I believe. And I believe he's still on probation. You know, personally, I believe he's a registered sex offender. That's what I believe, personally. I believe that. So you have to ask yourself, you know, with somebody with that kind of pressure on them, don't you know that there's nothing this guy won't do? You know. He's got all kind of troll accounts. He sends me, and every time I report it to YouTube. You know, this guy is as sick as they come. They don't get no sicker than this guy. And he fits right in on YouTube. Because there's a lot of them on here. See, a lot of them have sketchy pasts. Their pasts are so sketchy that the only thing that there is YouTube. It's either YouTube or you starve. You know. Will I still watch him? Yes. He can't stop me from watching him. Will I still look at his wet mouth and his moist mouth and them big juicy lips and all of that? Yes. I sure will be looking. But I'm going to separate that from the person. I'm going to separate that from this sinister person. This is a very sinister person, y'all. That's what my eyes see. That's what my instincts tell me about this guy. You know. Yeah, he can relate to a lot of black youth, because you know what? A lot of black youth don't have no mama. A lot of them don't have no daddy. A lot of them grew up in urban areas, poor, selling drugs, stealing, robbing, killing. He knows that. And he reels them all in. He reels all of them in. They don't have a father, so he's their father figure. You know, he's their father figure. For the people that are smart like me, I can see he's a straight up freak. I can see it in the things that he does. You know, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if he's sitting there with no drawers on. And after every video, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets off on every video. Thinking about punks, as he calls them. He calls them punks. You got to remember now, this guy was in jail. He was in prison for a year. From his own words, he said he served a year in prison or something like that. So can you imagine the things he has seen? Can you imagine the things he has seen with his own eyes? And somebody like me brings up those feelings in him. When I talk about those big, juicy, wet lips, moist, slobbering mouth, hot, wet mouth, it brings up feelings in him. But I have to separate that from this other sinister part of him. I can do that. A lot of people can't do that. You know. But there's something to it. There is something to it, you know. I mean, fortunately for me, I don't have to worry about him at all. You know. But at the end of the day, y'all, there's something is not quite right. You know. The things I would imagine him doing in his bed alone at night after those videos are all over and done with, after he's been talking about Kanika Jenkins for 2 or 3 hours. Can you imagine what he's doing in that bed? The different toys and all these different things. All the freaky thoughts that are going through his mind. The pictures he might be sending out and receiving. I pick up on all of it. See, he's luring these unsuspecting people in with these little things that he does, these little sexual innuendos and things. And I guess they get so caught up in that they can't see the bigger scheme of it. But there's something sinister about this guy. Anybody that will take somebody's death and sit around and ask a million questions, what if this, what if that, how this, how that, why this, why that, and it just goes on and on and on. And then they disappear off the radar for a whole week. And now they're back, and I think they've done as many videos as if they had been here for that week. 1, 2, 3, 4, And if I had to guess, the bulk of them are Kobe Bryant. Yeah, Kobe Bryant, Kanika Jenkins. Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bryant. Yeah, so this is his new thing now. His new thing is Kobe Bryant. Makes me wonder what actually he participated in when he was in prison. Because y'all got to remember, a lot of these guys in prison, what they do in prison, they leave it in prison. They try to forget it, the things that they do. But certain people can bring those feelings up in people. And I think that's what I'm able to do in him. Even though I don't even try to do it, I do it. That's why you hear him say punk. Punk. P-O-N-K. Punk. See? And I can see him with some punks. These same punks that he on YouTube talking about, I can see him doing all kind of things with those punks, as he calls them, punks. And I think that's what bugs him about me, is that I can see through the facade. I can see through this mask that he puts on, you know. I mean, he probably was a good guy at one time. He talks a good message. But when he goes right back to asking 1,000,001 questions about somebody's death, and you know what? And it's not like Kobe Bryant is the only person that has died since Kanika Jenkins died. But he's going to pick a high-profile case, one that he can talk about for at least 12 months. One that he can do 100 different videos on with 100 different conspiracy theories. But if that's what he has to do to provide a roof over his head and to eat and to pay his bills and to pay his probation officer, you know, let him do it, y'all. Because I'm not that cold. Because like I said, you know, all these different punks, words that come out of his mouth, believe me, that stuff is ingrained in his head from prison. The things his eyes has seen, the things his body has done, the things that people have done to him, the things he has lusted for. And he was able to leave all that stuff in prison. But it's something about me that brings all that stuff right back up to the surface and makes his mouth start watering. His mouth waters. See, I've never been to prison. But I don't have to have gone to prison to know what goes on in prison. Now, a lot of y'all naive women don't have a clue what your man has been doing in prison prior to coming home to you. And I suggest you don't ever investigate it. Don't try to find out. Because it's going to blow your mind what they doing in there. And who they doing. And who's doing them. You know, what body parts, mouths and tongues and lips are all over. You know, he knows these things. He knows all about that stuff. Why do you think he focuses in on all that different stuff on these different pages and channels he builds about me? For some reason he thinks that, you know, it's going to embarrass me somehow. But I'm never embarrassed about who I am. See, that one video where I said, well, you know, sometimes it does bother me. That's what they look for. They look for one little crack, one little opening, and they try to exploit it. But, you know, I was bothered once last year. So, you know, You got 300 more tries. But actually, I'm flattered. I'm flattered that people like this, that freaks like this, reveal all those dirty little things that go on in their mind, all these sick, twisted fantasies. You know, of things that he wants me to do to him. I'd never do it though. It would be a setup. It would be a setup. I'll just watch him on YouTube. Watch him send out his little subliminal messages. Yeah. But he has all kind of fantasies in his head. All kind of things go through this guy's head, go through his mind. He's in the zone every time I wake up. When I'm not even in the zone, he's living in the zone. Only time he ain't in the zone is when he's doing videos trying to get, you know, checks or whatever. And believe me, y'all, he's addicted to these numbers and these views and stuff like that. But I have a rude awakening for you, David. That's such a nice name, David. I have a rude awakening for you, David. None of these YouTube numbers are going to change your past. None of these YouTube numbers are going to get the pictures out of your head that have been ingrained in your brain and your psyche from being in prison. None of these YouTube numbers are going to get rid of the question marks and the doubts and the allegations and the accusations around your alleged offenses with underage girls. I don't know if they're true or not. All I can do is look at your content and see what you're capable of. And once I see what you're capable of, I veer more toward there's a possibility that there could be some truth in those things because I see what you're capable of doing. That's the thing. I see what you're capable of doing. See, a nut is a nut. Somebody like you, a person will have to just get their nut and keep it moving. Because you can't get into the mind of a madman. You know. But like I said, you know, the things that are in your head, that are in your mind, these numbers aren't going to erase those things. They've been ingrained in you. The things you've done, the things you've participated in, and now you try to use those same things in a derogatory way towards me. But I have sense enough to know it's those things that you are ashamed of, that you have participated in, that you have been a part of, that people have done certain things to you and you liked it. You enjoyed it. And it's something about me that it brings all those feelings to the surface. That's why your mouth stays just wet and watering, slobbery, hot, wet mouth, licking all over your lips, making panties wet and stuff. You know, it's almost like you're grooming people through your videos on here. And there's an art to that. Everybody can't do it. Everybody's not able to do it. But you figured out how to do it. See, you get them in with all these conspiracy theories. But why aren't you getting on here talking no more? Why are you hiding? I know you a freak. You have freakish thoughts, freakish fantasies, freakish behavior. You have a freakish past. You've done freakish things that you loved, but yet you're embarrassed by them. There's things you do when you go to bed that I would like to just be a fly on the wall, just to validate the things that you do. Because I'm right there with you, see? You're in the zone. See, I can take your ass to the zone. Everybody can't do that, can they, David? I can do it. I have that ability. I can go through that barrier that you've built up around yourself and see all your fantasies, all these different things that make your mouth wet, make your blood flow, causes bulges and all kind of fantasies going through your head, through your mind. If that's all it was to it, I would be fine with it. But like I said, it goes a step beyond that. It goes to a sinister place, because I see what you're capable of doing. And once you start bordering into sinister, that's where I draw the line. You know, fantasy is one thing, but sinister, that's a whole different ball game for me. That's bordering on madness. You know, I can tinker around with fantasies and, you know, fun and things like that. But somebody like you can't leave it there. And I probably shouldn't go in hard on you no more. I'm going to give you a break. This is going to be my last video on you for a little while. I'm just going to let you do what you do and groom whoever it is that you need to groom. But do me a favor. Come on here one day and wear your t-shirt and your jewelry, and don't wear no pants or no drawers. Because that's what you really want to do. Just go on and do it. Ain't nobody going to know it. No way. Nobody's going to know it. Nobody ain't going to see. But you. Nobody will know but you and I. We're the only two people that will know. Then you can fantasize about, you know, all these different fantasies. These seductive, provocative fantasies that I'm able to bring to the surface in your head that makes your mouth water. See, I make your mouth water. I know how to make your mouth water. Just like a steak makes a dog's mouth water, there's something about me, I can make your mouth water. I get to you. I get to you. You know what? You know how I know? Because I see the things you do. Do it under your own ID. Say those things under your own ID. You got my email. Email me all those different thoughts and fantasies and different stuff. I won't tell nobody. Because I think I know what you really want to do. And believe me, there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things you want to do. A lot of different things. And I'm beginning to think you're very good at all of them too. I think you're very good at all those different things all those different fantasies and lustful thoughts that I'm able to bring out of you. You're good at all of them. There's things you want me to do to you, and you can't control yourself. That's why you do all these different underhanded things you do to try to get to me. And all it does is let me know that I hit the nail on the head. You know? So just go on and take it up a notch. Do something that only you know and that only you can see when you're recording your video. Because nobody can see you from the waist down. Nobody can see you from the waist down. You know. Give the popes what you really want to give them. Because you really want to give it to them. In more ways than one. There's all kind of things. All kind of thoughts and fantasies live in your psyche. Remember, we both in the zone. Except you're bordering on sinister. I draw the line there. But you know, just do you. And stop. Clean up your act though. Clean it up. Because it makes you look desperate. And start just coming clean. Do all this stuff under your own ID. Because I know what you're doing. You got 3 or 4 different IDs that you've been using. And God only knows how many nuts I give you. Only you know that. But I know one thing. I'm able to make your mouth water. I'm able to make you drool. I'm able to bring all these different thoughts and fantasies to the surface in your brain, in your conscious. And that's what bothers you. Because you try to keep all that stuff hidden away and locked away. And I, for one, am able to do it. It's something about me. I'm able to bring all that stuff to the surface. I'm able to do it. So you can just wait and take your pants and your drawers off after your video if you want to. Like you've been doing. Since you don't want to do it when you're recording the video. Just go on and just take them on off after the video. Like you have always been doing. And all these different fantasies and desires that you crave. You're embarrassed by your cravings. You need to embrace them. Embrace your cravings. Stop running from them. Embrace them.